Can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I thought it was just this. I forgot these headsets work like they're gaming headsets, so I hear a lot in this ear.
Oh.
Because like one's for the game and one's for your talking.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, is something wrong?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't hear it.
Is this my voice or is this the game?
It's like I'm deaf. I can't. I'm deaf.
I thought it was like one of those like earphones where, you know, when it has like the play pause button, it always goes bad in that ear first. Do you ever notice that? Because it's like you're always, clicking on that wire.
Well, the worst is like I would have those under my shirt when we were at the gym, and I would go to do bench or something, and then I'd go and touch that little dongle.
Little dongle.
I'd go, ow, and then it would go, doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
And I'm lifting, and I'm like now I have no motivation because there's no music. I'm like,
you're right in the middle of your rep.
Yeah, I'm like,
you're holding that bar right next to your chest,
more.
like.
I was like, ow, keep going. You can do it.
But you got that little bout of anger though for that last rep, right?
Yeah, but I was like, I'll do 3 more, and I'm like, God, just do the one.
Okay, no, just do one.
But no, I was gonna talk about. Have you heard of? Because you brought up TikTok being banned, and we know that's old news. But we were talking about Charli D'Amelio. Is that the girl on TikTok?
Yeah.
So, like you said, we talked. That's not entertaining to us, right? Like, I get it. Like, it's a trend.
she just dances and lip syncs.
Yeah, that's kind of what TikTok is there.
That's not quality
it's a musical
entertainment.
Note. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of meant to go that way.
I mean, maybe she had moves like Usher then, you know.
Yeah, but
Anybody remember Usher?
I just heard whatever that was.
Whoa.
Oh,
I think TikTok is tapping into
They're
this
tapping
right
into
now.
it. Hear that?
Yeah.
Tick, tick, tick.
That's the sound of China spying on us.
Okay, Morse code. I got it. I hear them.
Yep.
Incoming message.
They just hack into our screen.
Yeah, they're like, we know you're using this kind of software.
It's just programmed to automatically pick up. It's actually Trump. He heard us say TikTok, and so he's tapping into
it's huge on TikTok. I'm huge on TikTok.
I'm a huge TikTok fan, okay?
Well, I get it that TikTok is like that quick attention grab for young kids, and like it's the trends. And there's some stuff like people can be really funny on TikTok. Like I showed you some videos; they're hilarious. Like there's some like it's like Vine, but like you know you have cooler effects, you can use different music. Like there's a whole lot of like different stuff that's added to
there's
it.
There's a lot of
better.
opportunity out there. It's great for people starting off. My issue with it is that it's not a great outlet for quality content because it's not, you know, if you want to actually produce something that's worthwhile,
right,
then it takes a while. I like to say that, by the way. If it's going to be worthwhile, it will take a while. Because
Absolutely.
If you want to watch an actual sketch, an actual skit, it has to develop, right? Like,
right.
I'm referring mainly to comedy here, you know?
Yeah.
If you want a true comedy has some drama, it has some suspense, because that's how jokes are supposed to work. You're supposed to make someone believe in the suspense, and then the comedy itself is the relief from that suspense.
Yeah,
TikTok is just like boom, 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 and you have no clue what's going on. You know,
it's everything.
And that's how it's entertaining. It's like you got no clue what's going on. It's constant, you know.
Right, and like I said, obviously it's the Chinese. But like the algorithm, they're like, we don't even know how this thing works or puts videos in front of you on the page. You know, obviously there's an element of popularity, like Charli. But like I was saying, like that's exactly right. So you may grab a bunch of people really quick for a trend or something, right? Get that attention for 15 seconds, whether you're dancing or doing the little edits or whatever. But like, I know it was kind of upsetting when it was canceled or banned or whatever. And I got upset because I was like, well, I haven't even been able to tap into it yet. Like, I was upset because then I was never allowed to try. But like you said, screw it. Like, it's not going to be quality anyways. You're hoping for you're reaching for something. So
well, yeah. And what happened to Vines? You hear about Vines anymore?
Them, that's why probably Vine doesn't get any shit because a lot of people. So it was 7-second videos. It was you. It was authentic, and it was like all you. If you wanted to sing, sing. You know, no edits, no lip singing, no none of this. You could sing, and a lot of people then were like, "Wow, you have a great voice," and then labels could hit you up. A lot that actually, a famous like Vine person, him and his wife, they do a singing duo. I can't remember their names for the life of me right now. Now that we're recording on a camera, but he's big on Twitch. And by big, I mean probably gets like 1,500 views at the most at one time, which is a lot. But it's not like, Shroud or Ninja where it's like 40,000 people watching at one time. It was just an ungodly amount of people. But I can't even fathom 10,000 people in a room, But anyway, so they got discovered on Vine because they were dating and they were singing together. And it was really good songs. Like they're amazing musicians. And then that turned into a career for them. Then that singing career turned into being able to do like deals and sponsorships, like working with companies like Gap, like the clothing company, doing commercials for them, and like kind of developing into who they wanted to be. Now they're married and they have a family and they live, awesome. Like they're the perfect example of that. Or like comedians, a lot of funny people went from Vine to Instagram, and then now they have a big following because they took that audience from Vine to Instagram when they started doing the video. So Vine had that way of like moving and growing your audience into the different important channels, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. TikTok's just like, it's like an ADHD like enema, like just like, oh god, oh you just keep going. I gotta keep watching. I'm so lost. I need to keep watching.
Next video.
It's only 15 seconds. Next. Next thing you know, 2 hours is gone, and you're like,
it's only 15 seconds.
And you're like, what was I doing today? You're like, this.
Hold on. I need to finish watching this video. Hold on. Hold on, one more. Hold on.
Like, don't stop me. But that's
what's wild though? Charlie's only, what, 16?
She's 16 years old.
So how are her parents letting her do this?
I don't think they're complaining about the millions of dollars she makes for them. And now that should be newsflash. So, like, there's obviously, if you're on any kind of social media outlet, you know that, like you said, pedophilia is, like, coming through the woodwork. Like, it's coming out in ways that are just...
It's getting exposed.
Yeah, it's finally popping out in ways that you're like, okay, this cannot be ignored anymore. We have to do something about this. And, that's great. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But if you're angry at that, shouldn't you... My view went to Charli. And I said, okay, what is she popular for? Dancing, lip singing, basically being sexualized on TikTok. Looking, doing her, wearing crop tops. I'm like, this chick was 16 years old. A year ago, she was 15 when she was getting popular. And I'm thinking... If you're upset with the pedophilia coming out, be upset with like the ability for companies to make huge amounts of money off of an underage girl on a Chinese app. No, just kidding. On an app that is basically just quick second what can I quickly sell? Well, I can sell young girls doing sexy dances to music and put an ad on it. You should be upset with those companies. I'm upset hearing it. And everyone's like, no, it's fine. It's TikTok. That's how it goes. But again, lots of the seedy evil can be covered up with greed, and you can get lost in kind of all of that. And so if anything, if you're upset with, whether it's Jeffrey Epstein and Epstein Island and all that kind of pedophilia, this is kind of similar for me. I'm upset with the idea that she's worth $5 million for doing sexy dances and lip singing.
Yeah.
And like you said, her parents probably aren't upset because they're making the money because she's underage. So I'm guessing the money goes to them because you must be 18 or 16 with parent consent when it comes to a business. If I ran a business and I wanted to find TikTok people and they were young, I would, number one, second guess, be like, whoa, do I need to stoop that low? And then two, I'm like, that's probably unethical. Never crosses their mind, I guarantee it. They're like, oh, we'll make probably $2 million this month on her doing this dance and promoting a boom, and then there's like an ad for something. They're like, ooh, what's that? because they're so obsessed with going so fast. It's just the whole app is upsetting.
You know, it's a major social issue how prominent sexuality has become. I mean, when was the last time that sexuality was a private thing? Wasn't it always supposed to be a private thing? Isn't it supposed to be like, you know, a private relational thing that you have with your significant other? And now it's something that sells pretty much everything. It's all over, you know, TV. It's all over the internet.
And it's only gotten worse over time.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with appeal. You know, there's nothing wrong with looking good. There's nothing wrong with attracting others, especially if you're single. You got to get yourself out there. And there's nothing wrong even with, I would say, marketing it to some extent. But to the point where sexuality becomes an entertainment industry, you know, to the point where we have 16-year-olds on TikTok making millions of dollars.
Being sexualized.
And SpongeBob being declared as gay.
Good Lord.
Like, why do we need to know the sexuality of a cartoon character on a child show?
They don't even have parts.
And I got nothing. Well, yeah. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, we get it. You know, gay is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But why do you have to declare the sexuality of your character? Now, do we have to know, you know, what Patrick's sexuality is so that we can clarify that relationship? I don't get it. Seriously, it's just so unnecessary how far we've taken everything. You know?
Don't even get me started. But like it's sad because like that's the distraction, and then you get caught up in the stuff that doesn't matter, like SpongeBob's sexual origin. Okay, but then no one throws a fit about, you know, greed talking more than, like we talked about, sex. Most of TikTok, to be honest, a lot of, like, I probably had it 2 years ago, and I was really on it heavily probably 2 years ago, and then haven't touched it probably in like a year. You know, a lot of those TikTok ones I showed you were from like 2019, like old. So they're still funny, but like none of them are of like the classic TikTok, which is underage girls doing sexy dances to mass appeal. Usually, whether it's like, and a lot of them used to be, which is so shitty. It used to be like, make this go viral because I'm not popular in high school or something like that. And it's like you know, and this girl gets all dolled up and does the dances, and it's just like attention, begging for attention. And then you get it, but that's not, you're a developing teenager. So not only are you being sexualized on this TikTok, but now you're craving attention from other people because you don't feel good.
Now you're getting rewarded for it.
It's not a good cycle, okay? Yeah. It's not a good cycle. And so I thought, as, you know, as I grew up, I would see a transition going from, maybe it's how we were raised. I thought I would see more of a transition towards achieving ethical, like, rightness, like being ethical is important, but it's the complete opposite. Now it's more money talks. Now it's more greed is okay. You know, like, doesn't matter. We made money. Like, that's all. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've saw something goes, they don't care. They made money. Like, and I know that's probably a predominant thing in business, making money. It's important to do that. But it's like we're regressing. It's like early on, I would have imagined in like the 70s and 80s, like when my parents were growing up, it was, you know, company's important. What we do is important. What we make is important. Now it's like, I don't care what we do. Are we making money? How much? A lot? Okay, we can get away with that. Like, it's not going the way I thought we were going to develop at least as a society. But, and I don't...
It's the internet. Really, the internet allows everybody to... Sorry, kind of hit your mic boom there.
No, it's the
internet
it's the
literally
Chinese.
Allows anybody to have access to the media.
Yep.
It used to be you had to work through a company, you had to make your way up, you know, start at the bottom, work your way up at like a radio or a TV company. Now it is, you know, you just get onto your phone, get on the TikTok, get on the Facebook Live, post a video, or even YouTube if you want to really take your time to make a quality video, you know.
Right, with a fancy-ass camera.
Right. But, you know, it's so easy to just get your voice heard without even being a viable source of information or a quality source of content.
Right.
And so now you have teenagers being able to access that, people who want to express themselves or just gain attention, and nothing wrong inherently with that.
Right.
But it's just the fact that people get so readily rewarded for that. There are hardly any filters to it, really.
Yeah, it's not a good sign. It's not a good direction I wanted society to go.
And it's a matter of how far do we allow freedom of speech to go. And freedom of speech is a great thing, and it should always be around, but we need to... You know what? Let me rephrase that. It's not the freedom of speech that is the problem. It's not the internet that's the problem. It's our culture that's the problem. Mm-hmm. Because Absolutely. We have allowed ourselves to go so far to, our forms of making money, our capitalistic ideals. Mm-hmm. But not only our capitalistic ideals, but also our social ideals of letting everything go. It's both the political right and the political left. They have gone so far that we have basically split apart from where we were at to now we're at this great divide where we have the worst of both worlds. Mm-hmm. And we need to meet somewhere in between so that we can recover that. And until we do that, all we got right now are these arguments.
That's so stupid. Because then, what? Now you have to have a massive event to bring us all back together? Like, I mean, what are they? What? Someone was like, "Oh my gosh,
how are we gonna be able to do that? We can't even go outside, and we can't."
Oh my gosh, World War III is here. Well, I don't think it's World War III. Well, I think it is. Like, we couldn't agree on it this time.
Yeah, we'd be like, this is quite some time. We're being forced to stay home. We're being forced to, cover our faces. And while it is for the greater good, it's for public health and safety, which is super important. It's also during a major election cycle in which we have someone who is a racist and a bigot, and we have another person who is a pedophile and a creep. And meanwhile, we have a, rapper entertainer who may or may not get onto all the ballots. And it's like, who are you going to vote for?
Like you said, as soon as you showed me Joe Biden clips, I said, Kanye.
Yeah, I am supporting Kanye. He has my promotion here. But I don't know. He came in way too late, though. That's the only issue, He did. So, really, he's probably going to be a diversion in this election cycle.
Yep. Well, and the same thing goes for that, too. I just thought of this right now. So the way that you sexualize these young girls on TikTok, like you said, they get rewarded for doing that by attention. So then they continue to do so, and then they develop, start to mimic those actions, and then I feel like it would stunt their actual development of an individual, because now they just focus on that because you're young, you're 15, whatever on this app, and that's what you're doing. You're getting rewarded for it. You're teaching yourself, whether you know it or not, that that's what you're supposed to do. That's bad for both sides, for the girl, and then what are you teaching the guys who watch that? You're teaching young, growing guys, okay, only focus on the sexualization of women. That's all I care about. And then in society say you don't knock, God forbid that you bring marriage up or anything, because then they're not going to do it because you don't have to, because they understand that you get rewarded for being sexualized. All we want is for you to be sexualized. Again, it's there, but like now that you bring it to the face of the public, you can kind of, it's okay. You completely just wipe away you're going the wrong direction ethically. That's not the way you're supposed to go. So not only are you affecting the women and their self-esteem, but you're teaching the men wrong that are growing up. Because it's not going to go. This cycle's not good. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, guys, another thing was here, like, women need to be certain things for men to grow and develop, especially when you are young and like when you want to get married. Like, and I made the list so I didn't fuck it up. So I put the woman needs to be the women men need for us, especially young. We're bachelors right here, bachelor's table. I put this can be me, I guess. Strong in belief themselves and believe in who they are, who they're gonna be, They have full confidence in who they are. They don't need the attention. They don't need the approval. None of that. Okay? Strong and ambition. And this is probably just for me. They have their goals. They know that nobody's going to earn it for them, so they got to earn it just like I would have to earn something, right? I do not like the pampered princess. Oh my gosh, like the other day I was driving and oh my god, like I can't stand that. And they're everywhere.
I love how they dramatize minor things.
Oh my gosh, I was like driving.
You won't even believe what Betty said.
Did you know gas?
No, hold on. You won't believe what Betty just said. She said, I thought I saw you in those shorts last week. I was like, excuse me. I was wearing these shorts like, I think 2 months ago. Because, you were wearing those shorts like yesterday. And she's like,
She's like, it's like Jersey Shore became, it just went everywhere. Like it became real life. Like, oh my God. And I'm like, I can't stand this. I can't do it.
Well, it's
last
about...
one. I have one more. Last one.
Okay.
I have one more. So strong in belief, strong in ambition, and then I put beauty in their heart, right? They are kind, loving, yet still firm for you as a man to grow, and it allows you both to grow, ultimately, in your relationship together, right? If you're just a girl who's like all looks, and it's like I gave the example out there of J-Lo walked by, and then I got to know J-Lo, I go, wow, she's very good looking. But if all she is that, like I told you, we're going to have a great year. It's going to be a great 1 year relationship, if that, because then I'm going to get just sick of it.
1 year is ambitious for that.
It is.
I think like
6 months, but I was
1 month.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't see him all the time, if you build up into a relationship, say maybe 6 months to a year, that I guess what I'm saying is the most is going to be a year. And then you'd be like, I can't take it anymore. Emotional snap. You're like, I can't do this.
Actually, it would end on like 4th of July when you're like going back to that same party where you met, and she's like, Chase, we did this last year. Like, why don't we just like go to like an actual party this time?
You're like, what's the meaning of this? Huh? You don't think, what is this? Huh? You don't think about this?
Yeah, have you noticed that?
4th of July. I just wanted to go watch fireworks with you, spend time with you. We need to, this isn't even close to what I was thinking we were going to do. I'd be like, that's it. I'm out.
This is important. And I quote, Spice Girls, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. Friendship lasts make it last forever. Friendship never ends. That is super important. Seriously though, if you want a real relationship, start as friends. I mean, seriously, it's low pressure, it's comfortable, it's familiar, and honestly, if you break up, you can still be friends because you're friends in the first place, or you could just be petty and be like, I hate you.
Exactly.
Because that's what most people do, and that's how marriages end in divorce. Because you eventually get to that point where it's no longer romantic, and what do you have left if it's not romantic? Well, you weren't friends.
Nothing.
So it's just, we have these kids.
Just because not only, so we realize that. I don't know, maybe it's because, I've had some time to not date, and I've been like, you know what? I used to date because I was insecure. You date because there's something you need to validate for you. So if I date you, you give me the attention that I'm refusing to give myself to bring the issues.
Yeah. I date lonely. I'll be honest. Yeah. Which is ironic because if you're lonely, why don't you get friends? But there's something more validating about when it's an attractive, friend of the opposite sex.
Right. Yeah. But like that's good. That's actually really good because that's another one too. Like, but then I was able to deal with that side. But I wasn't able to get past anything until I was like, okay, there's some issues I have to deal with. So I'm just going to be alone, fight through it, and deal with it. And then, ironically, all of that formed and goes, well, time to start doing shit. Get ambitious. You got goals? Write them down. You want to do something? Fucking do it. And then I was like a whole new person just erupted from this cocoon. I was like, let's do this. I was like,
that was the day that Chase blossomed.
I had blossomed. Yes. And now this is the man you see today. Here's my tobacco pipe.
He's a beautiful butterfly.
But like, it hurts me to know that, yeah, granted, it sucked learning that, like having to go through that, but it would suck worse if I was taught that at a young age, like 13, 14, you know? Because I wasn't taught that way, at least where I was from. I know that a lot of people dated, but you had long relationships, so you were developing long-term relationships. It wasn't quick, sexualized relationships. And if, like, nowadays, especially, like, it's just horrible. Like, it's not going to go well for those kids. Like, because they're, okay, so like you said, the girls are sexualized, they're rewarded. The guys go, okay, they're sexualized, they're rewarded. It's not going to go good. They're not going to develop, if you think divorce is high right now, wait till they're in their 30s. They'd be like, oh my gosh, I got married 25, divorced by 28, like, because they didn't learn. So,
yeah. Well, and our young adult society is the perfect storm, because when you're in high school, it's a controlled environment. You got adults around all the time. You're being sent there by your parents. You're going to return home to your parents, right? When you get out of high school, people will tell you to go to college. They'll expect you to go to college, and it's going to be set up while you're in that controlled environment. Mm-hmm. And so you go to college, if you're lucky enough, your parents might even be paying for it. Mm-hmm. So it's like a controlled destiny, if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
But you have the freedom to execute however you want. Chances are you don't really want to be there doing that. And so while you have this pretense of a controlled environment, you have all the freedoms of, exploring things such as sexuality. And so what happens is people get out of that college environment, might not even find a job in their career, probably blew a whole bunch of money, student loan debt, mm-hmm. serious thing, go into an apartment, have no clue what they're doing, and still be fulfilling the same habits they formed in college of drinking, partying, and, sex.
Yep.
And so just like that, we've founded a concrete foundation of very bad sexual habits that just keeps getting fed because we don't show our children. I don't have a kid yet. I know, this could be something
definitely going to know the right.
You're actively working on, yeah. But, like, this is something that has to get fixed because, we have so many issues with our society that we're not tackling because it's gotten to the point where it makes us money and it makes us feel, ideal.
I never thought I'd get there. I never thought especially this young. I figured if I did, it was going to be way in the future. It was going to be like, oh my gosh, greed is rampant, but good thing I raised my children right. No, Matt, my son's 6 years old, and I don't have to worry. The closer he gets to growing up, I'm like, well, how long is that ignorant societal pressure going to be placed on him? What age do I have to, I don't know. I forgot. I think my parents had a book, and they taught me about, intimacy and relationships and sexual relations at 10 or 11. I'm like, when do I have to start telling him this stuff? I was watching this video of this lady. She was like, well, one, she had a 6-year-old. And two, she found that the 6-year-old had pornography on the phone, her son, and was seeing it, whether it was from an advertisement or a video or something, Instagram, that kind of thing. One, don't give a 6-year-old a phone. That should have been my first clue. He doesn't need a phone. Okay, take the phone away from that kid, throw it against the wall, get an upgrade in a couple of years. Okay, and then the second thing was. It just didn't hit me. I'm like, how young are these kids can you protect them before they're just hit with this just meteor of wrongful, unethical, reasoning, So you keep talking. I'll just put a technical difficulties thing right there.
Who turned out the lights? Who turned them out? I can't see. Oh, hi.
Oh, we're back.
Welcome back.
Technical difficulties, but so that's my pressing issue is, and again, not a lot of people would feel that because I'm a parent, so they don't have to worry about that. They're still 23, have the whole life to do whatever they want. But when you become a parent and you're a good parent, your entire life revolves around that kiddo or kids. And then your job is to make sure that they get raised right, so that way they do the same cycle and they repeat that good cycle, so that when you have just a family that you're proud of, just like my grandparents are really proud of all of us. But yeah,
it's all between you and your kid, really. I mean, there will be societal pressures, but at the end of the day, they come back home, and you should always have that open conversation.
Yep. That's another thing too. My I can tell now that Madden gets older, like, I'm gonna talk to him a lot. Like, I could tell that, my mom was always there, and my dad was working all the time, and he had weird hours because he would work. He just had worked the whole time, so he'd work like days and nights, and so we never knew if he was asleep or awake or what was going on that weekend. I only remember like legitimate time with my dad growing up was like vacation times when we went somewhere, and even then it's still very vague because we went when we were young, so I can only think of a few memories when I'm like a teenager, like middle school into high school, where I had actual like time with my father. And I know, and that's not his fault. He was working to provide for all of us. And my mom was too, but she had a regular schedule that was regimented towards ours with the regular work day. So I saw her when we dropped off. I saw her when we got picked up. We did our own thing, playing video games, eating snacks, whatever. And then she was there at home. And my dad was, sleeping or not. It was just kind of a weird schedule. But I know that I'm going to be there 100% for little Madden. He's going to be like, okay, if my dad's home or he's here, and or if not, I can call him and he'll answer right now. I got to talk to him right now. And I know that can be kind of misconstrued in a way that's like, well, don't be there all the time for your kid. He's got to learn some things. Well, yeah, but I'm going to always be there. And if he has a question about something, I'm not really going to take the scope of society into my eyes. I'm going to go, listen, that's wrong. I'm telling you why that's wrong and what it's going to do to you. Just like, because someone could normalize what we're talking about with TikTok and all that kind of stuff. Well, it's, that's just the kids are doing that nowadays. I'm like, not my kid. No. I was like, that's wrong. And I'll tell you why it's wrong and what it's going to do to you. And then, like we talked about, but that should be enough right there. If people hear that little segment, they should be very weary of their kids being on TikTok and doing that kind of stuff. So it's also important because a lot of those parents probably aren't really involved with those kiddos who are doing that kind of stuff. I mean, like constantly begging for attention. There was one girl, and they're all like, it's so sad because nothing's wrong with them. Like they think they're the ugliest person. They're asking for attention. I'm like whatever you're going through right now, it's gonna pass. Whatever you have going on, you're gonna be fine. But no one's there to tell them that, so they have to go to this. It's just horrible. I hate that. It breaks my heart. But the only thing I can control is how my kiddo sees it. So I'm gonna make sure that's my bread and butter. That's my bread and butter. But
you know that old saying, chivalry is dead?
Yeah. Well,
I looked up an article, and it turns out chivalry never died because chivalry, as we think of it, never existed. It was a code during the feudalistic times between knights in which they would decide when and whom they may and may not attack. That was what it was all about. It was war. It was war tactics. It was all about basically a moral code of war. It wasn't about women. It wasn't about dating.
Now we're like, why aren't you opening the door for me? You're like, well, I thought you could do it. You're a strong, independent woman.
I just find that funny because it makes me wonder who brought up the idea that it was about courtship, it was about dating, because it never really was. I guess maybe people, maybe it's about that, the idea of a knight in shining armor, which maybe,
But yeah, that's a good question. Who would have misconstrued that? They're like, well, let's take this military strategy and let's use it towards women.
But it kind of, in a way, gives me hope that people see dating as something greater than it really is. Because I feel like the ideal relationship, ideal is a very subjective thing. I feel like what I would see as an ideal relationship, a man taking care of a woman and vice versa, is really something that has devolved as, sexual, the promotion of sexuality in society has grown because it's become a lot more shallow.
Yep.
Because I feel like a relationship should be about, it should be about bettering yourself, and it should be about bettering the other person that you're dating. You should, be able to help each other out like pieces of a puzzle to put the whole picture together. Okay. You should be open to the idea that you're incomplete and can be completed by someone else's, differences,
Right.
Because if you don't feel the need to get with someone, why get with someone? Honestly, right. You don't need that complication in your life.
It's like the physical embodiment of if I did this motion.
Yeah.
Like, and the pieces fit because my pieces are like this, but I'm still missing pieces. Oh, my pieces are like this. I'm still missing pieces.
It's all about this. It's not about this. You know what I'm saying?
You're looking at the wrong type of connection.
It's the wrong picture you're looking at there.
You're like, listen, diagram. We have this. We have this.
There's a huge difference. Yes. Right. You see, because on one end you have all the different pieces lining up together. On this end, it's really shallow. It's, me physically desiring something, you physically desiring something, and a temporary fulfillment. Yep. The other one is a personal bond that can't be broken. It's love.
Yep.
And, I feel like that should be straightforward, but maybe it's too straightforward. And that's why it doesn't get talked about. I don't know.
Why would you even... I just don't get it. Why would you fight that? Like, why? I tell you why. Because money talks. That's why. Like you said, we talked about it before in the same episode 40 minutes ago. Okay?
Yeah.
They can get away with it because they can make money. That's it. And it finally has hit a point where it's just like, well, I guess that's all that matters, right? Boom. Gone. Morals? Ethical? Not here.
Yeah. People don't get paid to be moral. As a matter of fact, you're more likely to lose money by helping people. Yep. If you want to gain money, sell a product. It's all about materials, Sexuality isn't a material thing, but you're basically making your body itself into material.
Well, you can make it into one, apparently.
Yeah. That's literally, that's what itemization is, You want to look up the itemization of women, look it up. It's a very prevalent thing.
Yep. And then, but the audacity for people to get upset about it and then not see that this is a root cause.
Yeah, no one's doing anything about it.
They're like, hey, we don't want to be sexualized like that.
And TikTok might get banned, and then she'll move on to probably YouTube, honestly.
I think she'll have more success if all those people move to Instagram. We'll just do like live stories.
Instagram, yeah. Instagram's another popular source for stuff like that,
Well, they have the live thing. So now, so that you can connect better now. So if you thought she was attractive, now you get to talk to her live.
Oh,
boom.
Boy.
If she's not already on there. You know what I mean? So you're just... So
that
I think it's already done...
creeps.
It's already done the damage. Now you're just taking it...
Is that like Messenger live video chat?
Have you not seen that?
No.
So they go on their Instagram, they hit go live, and then you have this little circle that looks like the Instagram thing, and then you can click on it, and then you can see the chat in the bottom half of a video.
Oh, I gotcha. It's like a webcam chat, and people just type in while you're on video.
Yep, they can type in whatever you want. Sounds bad, huh?
So,
especially when you're a sexualized 16-year-old.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a sex cam.
Bingo, bango.
Have you ever heard of those?
Oh yeah. Oh, yep.
Yep. Literally just, a woman posts video of her live, and men just type in crude comments. Well, she gets, paid just to be there on video.
Yep. But instead of them getting paid on the video, they can ration it and say, well, listen, we make other content, and then the sponsors are not representative of those people who are typing the crude, nasty stuff. So it's not good. Especially if you already build that in your head. And then the bad thing is they won't look at it in a negative sense at all. Because what are they going to, you're young. You're 16. She's 16 worth $5 million. What do you think is going to happen to her? Nothing good. Look at child stars that had a bunch of money and popularity and view.
Look
what
at
happened
Justin
to him?
Bieber.
Thank God
what happened to him?
Thank God he got saved.
Yeah. I mean, to some extent.
But like, goodness sakes, dude. Like, exactly. The formula may look enticing, but the end result is always the same, and it's never good. And then now, you had a good question. We're talking about me, Madden. What are we gonna do, right? Like what? Okay, how are you gonna teach him, raise him? Now, her parents, like. You're not instilling. I'd be like, what if that was my daughter, and she's over here doing this sexy dancing in a crop top and booty shorts, bing, doing that kind of stuff. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? I'd be like, what are you doing this? Well, there's people that watch. I'm like, I don't give a no. Give me that. We'll upgrade next week. Just don't stop it.
I bet her parents started the argument off like that, and then she was like, oh, okay, guys, well, calm down. I might get popular and make a lot of money. He's like, money, and then
exactly.
Because guess where that money is going to go if she's a minor? It's not going to go to her.
Yeah, I guarantee you, right to the parents. They're like, don't worry, we'll distribute it to you when you're. So her parents just were like, guess we'll be millionaires, honey. Keep dancing, sweetheart. Like, does this not look bad? I'm like, does nobody see this? I'm going to quote Joe Rogan. We're in an episode of Lost. It's not good. So It's just like, no one sees it going on. And that's just one small issue. Small. That is the big play here. It's just. Yeah, look at that. Out of words. Because now this never occurred to me when we started to do this, but now I'm talking about it. Now I'm getting hot. I'm getting heated right now. Yeah. I'm like, dang, because then.
You're getting heated. I'm getting lost. I don't even know where to go from here, honestly.
Honestly, I think we're pretty much done. But the last thing we're going to end with, I'm going to end with this, at least for me. The women men need that I just put here, they're not going to exist anymore. The rate at which, and especially as a parent, like if
they'll always be out there.
Well, let me rephrase that. They're not going to be there, but when they're there, you're gonna see this all day long. Oh my gosh, Tiffany, you're like, did you know that gas pumps have handles? That's crazy, and that's what you're gonna hear all day long, and then you're gonna be like, where's that smart, intellectual, hardworking woman? And we got more Tiffany's. Sorry if your name's Tiffany, by the way. But
I think the issue is, since we've placed so much value on sexuality, the girls that are actually open to receiving feedback from others are going to be the people that seek to make those self-improvements, because that's how you improve yourself. You seek feedback from others.
Right.
So if you're, going online, trying to find role models, trying to find some influence, and all you see up there is, people finding success by showing off their bodies, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go to the gym, work out, get in great shape, totally cool, and then they're just going to, be there for their body, Yep. They're not going to think, oh, well, guys are attracted to, intellectualism. By the way, anti-intellectualism is a really popular thing. It really is, because the issue here,
pretending to be dumb,
the entertainment industry, more or less, the entertainment industry makes a lot more money than any doctor or nurse, anybody in healthcare, anybody in education, anybody in, law enforcement. So the issue here is people find, because they tend to follow the money, because that's where you put your material value at.
Yep.
they find entertainment, sexuality to be a lot more valuable than intellectual things like, discovering a cure for cancer. People are going to find that attractive, People are going to find your body attractive. They're going to find your personality attractive, But they're not going to find, the deep intellectual qualities attractive because there's not a lot of value in that. And, so people are naturally going to tend to think, great, you're smart, you're a geek, who cares? Get over yourself.
Right.
And then they're going to go chase the basketball player because, he's got the flashy looks and maybe, if he's involved in entertainment or, sports or whatever, maybe he's got the nice car and the nice house. So he's got his life set up, better than that geek
you're
who
geared.
just
You're like, oh, I
plays
guess
video games when he gets off work, Oh, what does he do? Saves lives? Great. Who cares? That's where we place our value at right now. If you're talking about our issues in society, it begins right there. Where's our money at? It's not in the people that are actually helpful to society. No offense, there are some great voices out there in the entertainment industry.
Yep.
But more or less.
But yeah, more or less.
It's not going to the right places. And so that affects our youth's development when they look for where to lead their lives.
Yep. And upon conclusion, it's ultimately toxic. Toxic. But
yeah, if you want to lead a happy and morally successful life, want to lead a great family, and just be satisfied with yourself, don't follow the money. I think that's what I've picked up from this.
Yeah. Follow your purpose, not the money. What's that song? It hit me. Gosh darn it.
Oh, it hit you and it flew away. It's Hit and Run. Oh. Quick, call the cops.
No, it's a country song. It's popular. Can't remember. Shit.
Whoa, take the money and run. That's not a country song.
No, it was on my country playlist. I'll find it eventually. It was like chase after the purpose. Don't chase after the money. Chase after the purpose.
He just likes the song because it has his name in it.
That's right. I'm part of this selfish societal pressure that I'm putting on the kids, okay?
Example A.
So, hey.
This whole time, we've just been waiting to put the spotlight on you, Chase.
And I'm like, that's right. I'm the negative, okay? You want negative? I'll show you what it looks like. It's this backwards head on.
Turn the hat around. Reveal your true identity.
It's really me.
You just turn your hat around like, hey guys, this is the same Chase. Another plot twist.
Hey, it's like on The Office when Michael does the prison mic and he puts the bandana on, but it's still him. Hey, this is Prison Mike. It's like, do you expect us to believe you're a different person? Do you expect me not to push you against the wall, biatch? Okay, whoa. That's exactly what I'm turn my hat around. I'm like, now I'm a nice boy who does nice things. But now it's Prison Mike. That's it. You got me all heated now. Let's go to the gym.
Let's do it.
Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. I'll catch you next time.